Three exercises that will reduce 90% of lower body issues in 90% of people, including hip pain, knee pain, and back pain, are the banded lateral steps, the banded hip thrust, and the banded march. The banded lateral steps is an exercise that we do to work the glutes and specifically the side glutes as well. They're called the glute med, but all it is muscles that are towards the side of your butt, and they really help with supporting a healthy lower back and knees. All you want to do is get some bands, put them just around your ankles and stand just over shoulder width apart. And then all we're going to do is take little 6-inch side steps whilst keeping our feet pointing straight forward and standing up as tall as we can. And we are aiming to take 20 steps in both directions. Now, 20 steps is quite far, so if you don't have a room that big, you can just do 10 to the left, 10 to the right, 10 to the left, and 10 to the right again. And that'll get the job done just as well. After that, we get into some banded hip thrusts where you're going to be laying down onto your back. You want your feet to be fairly close towards your butt, and you want your feet to be just over shoulder width apart. Your knees should be pressing against the band, and the band should be pulled just over your knees for this exercise. To do this exercise, all you're going to do is push your hips right up towards the ceiling until you feel a lockout point where you can't push any further. You should feel your glutes squeezing underneath. And then in a controlled fashion, you're just going to lower yourself back down to the floor and repeat the exercise. And we're looking at building that up to doing 20 reps at a time with the same band that you did the lateral steps with. After that, we get into the banded march. This is an exercise that we use for a muscle group called your hip flexors, which are deep muscles at the front of your hips. And these really help with running power, and they massively help with knee pain and back pain as well. All you want to do is lay yourself onto your back, get the band, put it just over the middle of your feet, and you're just going to lift up one knee at a time as high as you can up towards your chest whilst keeping the other leg on the floor. Hold it for a little brief moment at the top and then slowly lower it back down to the floor. We are looking at building this up to 15 reps on both legs with the same band that you were doing the lateral steps and the hip thrust with as well. You're looking at doing this circuit 3 times round with about a minute's rest in between each round. And how you want to progress this exercise is first, you just start off with a band that is going to feel difficult for the lateral steps. And if you buy a standard pack of bands from Amazon, some glute bands, you're usually going to get 5 bands in the pack. And usually the third band or the middle strength band is a great one to start with. Just use that band by itself until you can do 20 reps on the lateral steps, 20 steps on the hip thrust, and 15 reps of the banded marches on both legs. And as you say, you want to build that up to being able to do 3 sets, ideally not taking any breaks in between the reps. Once you can complete that, take the band up a grade. Once you can complete that, take the band up a grade again. And you're looking at building this up until you're able to use the strongest band in the pack for all your exercises.